All right, geometry, here we go, looking at some relationships with these circles and arcs and angles. Let's just jump in and see what we have so far. So first, a couple things. Tangent. Why does that really matter? Not a huge deal, but it kind of says that this hits right at point D for segment DF. Let's see what else we can find in here. A couple things that are really fast. This angle and the other one right next to it make a straight angle. And those happen to be 106 degrees for the bigger one. So then the smaller one would be 180 minus 106. 180 minus 100 is 80, and then minus 6 more, and that gives us 74. So that's 74. And then by vertical angles, we got all kinds of stuff happening all over the place. We got 106, 106, 74, 74. Cool. Okay, is there anything else we can find? Let's see what it tells us to find. How about DEC? Okay, to find measure of angle DEC, I see that DEC, this angle here, let's put it like in some highlights. So this blue angle right there is what it's asking for DEC. I noticed that DEC uses the corners D, E, and F of a triangle there. And this in the corner for angle D, that's 62.25. And up in the corner for E, we don't know what that is, so we'll put a question mark. But then for the corner with F, that would be 80.43. 80.43. So now that we have that, those are three angles inside a triangle. 1, 2, 3 there. And those are going to add up to 180. All right, so we got 80 plus 62, that's 142. And we got 43 plus 0.25, that's 0.68 plus question mark equals 180. So if we were to do some like quick rounding here, 143 subtracted from that, 180 minus 140 is 40, minus 3 more is 37, but then we compensate a little bit back, so this question mark should be about 37.32. Cool. Wait, what was that? That was this angle, 37.32. Now, how did that help me? So if I look at this angle that I just found here, this blue angle, and then I look at the arc that it makes when it hits the circle, going from E to C, and let's see if we can take those dots back, make them a little straighter. There, and then it makes this arc. And that's super cool because when we have a vertex on the circle and it's casting an arc to the other side of the circle, we just have that half double relationship, meaning that the arc is equal to 2 of the angles. Sweet. So the arc, in this case, we don't know what that is, but we know that the angle is 37.32. So if we double that, 2 30s is 60, 2 7s is 14, so that's 74.64 equals arc CD. Do we have DC? Hey, look, that's the last one we have to find, 74.64. Okay, how about, so that, let's write that in here, 74.64. And then how about arc BE? Let's do this one in a little bit different color. How about some red? Some red. There we go. So if we're looking for this arc here, excellent. That would correspond to, well, there's a couple of things that we could get it to correspond to. It looks like it might actually just be 74 because it's almost symmetrical there. Check this out. Because this is 74 and this is 74.64 and that's 74, that should be about the same because when we have a crisscross intersection with two arcs like this, I know that the two arcs added together equal 2 times the angle. In this case, the angle is 74. One of the arcs is 74.64. The other one is going to be really close to that. Because if I did 74.64 plus 2 times 74, that's 2, 148, 148. So 74.64 plus something. This question mark is just going to equal, subtracting that, 73.32. No, 0.36. There we go. So this is 73.36. And that gives us arc BE, 73.36. Really close to the other one. What about arc EC? And measure of angle BGE. Oh, we already found measure of angle BGE. We can mark that in there. That's cool. That was 74. Cool. And arc EC. Oh, that's the last one. Let's go green. Let's go green. So for this last one, we're looking at this arc here, EC. And I noticed that I've got a complete circle now. I got 74.64 plus 162.14 plus 73.36 plus EC, whatever EC happens to be. So then we'd have 73.36 plus 74.64 plus 162.14 plus something equals 360. Well, this is that 74 plus 74, so that's 148 plus 162.14 plus a question mark equals 360. All right, so let's see, 148 and 162. 48 and 62 would make 110, so this is going to give me 310.14 plus a question mark equals 360. Well, that would be about 50 away, so it's going to be 49. Question mark is going to be 49.86, and all I'm doing is this little bit of subtraction. So 49.86, 49.86. Piece of cake, right? That's it. That's one way we can do this. There's lots of different ways, but we're looking basically at this idea of arcs and angles and those kind of relationships interacting together. So that'll be the first question from this one. We'll do the second one in a separate video.